Hi, everybody, and welcome into the Cougar Sports Network as we get started with some baseball here on a Thursday, as it is Western States South Conference action, the LA Valley College Monarchs and the College of the Canyons Cougars. Running a little late. We actually had the game time at 2:30 on our sheet at home, so we were just barely able to get it set up on time, and we are underway. We'll get you the lineups here in a second. As the Cougars in their yellow uniforms, as they traditionally wear. The Monarchs wearing green with gray pants today. This one grounded towards third, out of the reach of Ambrose, but foul. And it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Ball lifted in the air back of second base, and Alex Ballesteros makes the catch one away. Matt Robinson with you. Eventually we'll bring in our number 2 on the webcasts here now for the rest of the year, Matt Frieda, but for now we're just trying to get things set up, so we'll get to that at some point. Starting for the Cougars on the mound today, Brendan Whiting getting the start for College of the Canyons. We'll get you some numbers on him here in a second. For Whiting this season, 1-1 on the year with an ERA of 1.74 in 10 1/3 innings pitched. Has given up 8 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 5 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Is this one off to the right, and it'll get down in foul ground before any of the Cougars could get to it. As the lineup for LA Valley, Olivius leading things off. Lata now hitting in the 2 spot. Then Lappiner in the 3 spot. Brendan Zell in the 4 spot. Wood in the 5 spot. Velasco batting 6th. Asher batting 7th. Tafola, batting 8th. And Jeong in the 9 spot. As we'll get you more on the lineups for both sides as we get everything dialed in here. So Lata down on strikes. So Whiting setting down the first 2 batters. His first strike out of the ball game. 2 away. And here's Lappiner stepping in. First pitch over for a called strike. It's a little windy today, a little chilly, 65, 69 degrees at first pitch. Is this a ground ball towards the second baseman, Ballesteros? He'll throw out Lappner, and that will retire the side. So 1-2-3 inning for Whiting, and we'll take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network. Home half of the first when we come back.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
Home half of the first, Cougars set down LA Valley in order. Canyons will send Ryan Camacho, Mikey Kane, and Doyle Kane to the plate here to open things up for College of the Canyons, as they will take on Kyle Ayers getting the start today for LA Valley College. Ayers this year, 3.79 ERA, is 1-1 on the season. This will be his 7th start. Has pitched in 19 innings. Has given up 11 hits and 11 runs, just 8 of them earned, 26 strikeouts, 20 walks on the year. So it'll be Camacho to lead things off for Canyons. Ryan this year batting .309, has solidified himself as the leadoff hitter for COC. As he takes the first pitch, and the home half of the first is underway. Cougar bench pretty fired up already here early on. Second game of the week between these two teams. Cougars won game 1 on Tuesday in a 9-3 win down at LA Valley College. It was a nice start to the conference season for College of the Canyons. As you look at the records this year, LA Valley actually with a better record at 11-6 on the season. Cougars just 9-7, but we'll get more deeper into that as we go on in the ball game. That's not the whole story. Kind of looking at some of the records for the other teams. Kind of sheds a little bit of light on the story. But don't discredit LA Valley. They've had a very good start to the year. As Camacho hits this one on the ground towards the second baseman. As Tafola picks it up and throws him out. So Camacho retired 4-3. One away here in the first. Here comes Mikey Kane, future USC Trojan, batting .326 on the year. 15 hits in 46 at-bats, has 3 home runs and 12 runs batted in, second on the team in home runs so far this season. It's the first pitch over for a strike. Kane has been a steady force in the lineup. Since coming back in. Mikey, of course, missed the first few games this year. Did not get to play over the first 6 or 7, but has since been, as we said, consistently in the 2 spot and playing the shortstop position for the Cougars as the year has gone on. There's a good pitch from Ayers, sets down Kane on strikes. First strikeout for Ayers. 2 down here in the first, and here comes Doyle Kane. Doyle, 298 on the year, 14 for 47 with a home run and 13 runs batted in. As Ayers so far looking solid, same as on the other side for the Cougars. As Whiting had a good start as he set down the side in order. It's a 2-ball and 1 strike count here to Doyle Kane. That one misses down and Kane way ahead. Cougars trying to get the first base runner of the ball game on. That one fouled away, so a full count, 2 outs. So we wait on the 3-2 pitch here to Doyle Kane. Ayers into his wind, will come to the plate, and Kane will foul it away. That one goes over the head of Kane and misses, so the Cougars with a runner aboard here with 2 away. As Kane works a walk, and I'll bring DJ Cougar in. First walk of the game issued by Ayers. Cougar this year for the Cougars, 255 on the season, 14 for 55 with 8 runs batted in. And again, another guy that the first 4 spots in the lineup for Canyons this year have really been Camacho, Kane, and Cougar, especially since the Kane boys have come back in. So Ayers checks. Doyle stays. And Cougar takes that pitch down for a ball after a check down to the field umpire. One pitch misses away. Back-to-back walks. As Cougar just taking his time at the plate. So the Cougars with runners on first and second here. So back-to-back walks, and here comes Steven Gonzalez. So a chance for Canyons to try and get on the board here in the first. Gonzalez, 283 on the year, 13 for 46 with a home run and 6 runs batted in. Again, another consistent part of the lineup. Today the Cougars don't have Taft and Hensley in the lineup. That's the only real change to the Canyons lineup today, as instead Joey Roca slotting in. Gonzalez fouls that one away. Good rip that time from Steven, trying to put one in play and drive in a run. As Kane at second base can run pretty well. Cougar for the catcher runs pretty well as well. Usually you don't think of catchers as being guys that can move, but DJ certainly can. It's 2 balls and 1 strike here to Gonzalez. Outfield shaded towards right here, as the center fielder in Lappiner is out towards right center. Is that one over for a strike, and the count now 2-2. This one fouled off, and so we'll do it again at 2-2. Full count, runners will be in motion on the pitch. Gonzalez hits this one on the ground towards the shortstop. Lotta picks it up, fires over to first, down in the dirt, but scooped out by Olivius, and that'll end the inning. So Cougars leave 2 aboard in the first. We head to the second. No score between College of the Canyons and LA Valley College. Second inning we go. Brennan Zell, Wood, and Velasco, the hitters here for LA Valley College. This one hit on the ground towards Ambriz, who scoops it up and fires over to first. So 4 up, 4 down so far for Whiting. One away here in the second. So we talked about a little bit the fact that LA Valley this year, a better record, 11-6, 5 games above 500. The Cougars 2 games below 500, but COC beating LA Valley on the road, which is always harder to beat a team on the road. But you look at some of the numbers this year as we kind of went down the line and kind of put it together. Canyons so far this year has played the tougher schedule. Their opponents 83-60 on the season. 83-60-1 actually to be exact. LA Valley 71-84-2. So you're talking about 13 games above 500 are the Cougars' opponents so far this year. As this one fouled up the right field line. Whereas LA Valley 13 games, or actually let me redo the math. The Cougars' opponents 23 games above 500 this year, whereas LA Valley's 13 games below 500. So that's a kind of a big discrepancy, and maybe kind of tells a little bit deeper of the story. Is this one hit in the air towards right field in foul ground hooking? Gonzalez not going to get there. It was going to be too much of a run for Doyle Kane to get to as well. So it'll bring Josh Wood back to the plate, if we did not say. Wood is the batter right now. Wood this year batting 352, 19 for 54 with a home run and 12 runs batted in. As we were talking about LA Valley, really the reason why they have been so good this year, their offense has been impressive so far this year. They've right now top 30 in runs scored with 144, top 40 in doubles with 36, top 10 in triples, top 25 in home runs in the state, and oh, by the way, top 25 in walks as well with 89. So you talk about a team that the offense has really been clicking for them this year, and to go out and just score 3 runs against the Cougars the other day was one of their more difficult performances of the season. This one popped up on the infield. Ambriz is the one that's going to have to make the play, and he'll make a basket catch, and that will retire Wood. So 2 away. Wind kind of playing some tricks on everybody today. 10 to 20 miles per hour out of the north-northeast. So it'll make the ball move around a little bit. So 2 down, and here comes Robert Velasco. So we're talking about LA Valley this year. In games with 6 or more run margins, they're 5-0. So talking about they've scored and scored a lot, been able to hold their opponents down enough. They've played 8 games that have been 2 runs or less, and they're just 4-3 in those games. So really, it's been the offense that's been the story this year. When they can get going, they are very good. 7-1 in games where they have 10 or more hits this season. And unfortunately, we don't have stats from the game the other day. They have not been posted yet, and we don't have the whole story on what happened between LA Valley and College of the Canyons. Oh, actually, they just got posted. Matt Frieda has them for us. Thank you, Matt. You know what? They're not on the 3C2A website, which is probably where I was looking for them. But you look in that game, LA Valley only 8 hits in the ball game, and that's kind of been their turning point, is when they can get 10 or more hits in a game. As the first batter to reach on the day as Velasco, as he walks. First walk issued by Whiting. And it'll bring us to Dorian Asher. Asher 211 on the season, 12 for 57 with a home run and 11 runs batted in. Pitch over for a strike. You look for COC this year. Talked about some of the storylines from LA Valley. For COC, it's really come and gone with the pitching staff this year. And Whiting has done a good job so far here today. Retired 5 of the first 6 he faced. But it's been kind of a pitching by committee scenario for Canyons this year. It's not really anybody stepping up as the solid number 1. Kyle Kopp maybe has been in the argument for that. But really don't have a solid starting rotation. The bullpen has gotten better as the season has gone on. The ERA has been much better at home this year, but again, it's really been pitching by committee. They've allowed 10 or more runs 6 times this year, and they're 1-5 in those games. As Whiting sets down Asher on strikes, Second strikeout of the game for Whiting. So 7 batters to the plate, 6 of them retired. We head to the third. Still no score, LA Valley and College of the Canyons.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments, time with friends, lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
As we go to the home half of the second inning, Ambriz, Ballesteros, and Roca the hitters for Canyons. Facing Akers here, the Cougar bench is much more talkative today than we've heard them maybe all year long. As Ayers pitch over for a strike. So he sent for Kyle this year, 1-1. This is his 7th start of the year. Nearly 1-1 strikeouts to walk this year, so you talk about 20 walks is a bad number, but 26 strikeouts is pretty solid. He's only given up 4 extra base hits on the year. You talk about only allowing 11 hits over those 19 innings, so less than a hit an inning this season. Has been a tough guy to come up and bat against as Ambriz down on strikes. Second strikeout of the day for Ayers. 1 away here in the second inning, and here's Alex Ballesteros. So Ayers has been, as we said, solid, and that's not something that's been talked about a lot from LA Valley as the pitching staff this season. But they have been just as good as the offense. Batting average against just .256 this year, which is 24th in the state. Earned run average .494, which is 32nd, which I know you think a .494 earned run average is high, but in college baseball, that's pretty solid, all things considered. As usually with even the B-Core bats, the ball travels a little bit extra, especially here at College of the Canyons. We've seen it a lot this year. So to be able to lock down as a unit, it's helped out for the Monarchs so far this season. We'll talk about Ballesteros now. 245 on the year, 13 for 53. Only 4 runs batted in, but has pretty much started I think every game but 2 this year. 15 starts on the season. This is game 17 for the Cougars, so every game but 1. As he hits this one out in the air towards center field. Long run, and able to make the play was Lappner. And Ballesteros on with a base hit. It's a tough play for the center fielder Lappner, trying to charge in on a ball that's slicing away from him towards right field. Ballesteros on, and it'll bring Joey Roca to the plate. Roca getting his first start of the year. This is just his 3rd at-bat of the season. Does not have a hit yet this year. Starting in left field today, as Taft and Hensley not in the lineup. So a spot for Roca to go to work with a runner on. First pitch over for a strike. Roca, just a freshman out of Palmdale, went to Highland High School. Highland known for their football program more than their baseball program. As for a number of years, the Harringtons had been involved in that program. Dean won a state championship with Highland High School, and I know you're wondering why we bring that up. The Harringtons, a long history here with College of the Canyons football. Dean, Mike, and the whole crew have all been involved with the program for a number of years. Of course, the head coach of the football team for College of the Canyons, Ted Iacenda, a disciple of the Harringtons, played high school football at Hart High School. So a little bit of a tie in there. As Roca ahead in the count here, 2 balls and 1 strike. Takes that pitch for a strike, and the count now 2-2. 1 out, a runner on first base here in the second inning. No score. Cougars and the Monarchs on a Thursday, and a windy Thursday here in March. We might get some more warm weather, but staying in the 60s here today. Some threat of rain coming in as Roca down on strikes. 3rd strikeout of the game for Ayers. 2 away here in the second. Here's Jovan Camacho. Jovan and his brother Ryan have pretty much taken over starting roles. Jovan starting in center field today. Batting .231 on the year. His 27th at bat of the season, his 10th start of the season, but has found himself in the 9 spot regularly, especially here at Cougar Field. As he and Ryan have kind of were in and out of the lineup early on in the year, but as we've gone on, have found themselves to be in the starting lineup game in and game out. Ryan, of course, his 15th start of the year, waits in the on-deck circle. Is a breaking ball over for a strike. That was a nice pitch from Ayers. Had a hard snap to it right near the plate. It's 2-1 count. Camacho takes that one inside. Count now 3-1. And Jovan works a walk, so 2 aboard here for the Cougars in the second. And they've turned the lineup over as we go back to Ryan Camacho, who grounded out to second base to open the game. Talked about Ayers having the history of high walks. 3 so far here in the ball game to go along with his 3 strikeouts. And now he faces the top of the order with 2 on and 2 away. Camacho this year shown a little bit of power, has a home run, 8 runs batted in, a .309 average on the year. That home run came here at Cougar Field. It was actually an opposite field home run, hit it out to right center field. And it was a nice little poke, too, hit the walkway out there in right center where you can maybe see somebody walking back there right now. And then a balk going to be called on Ayers. So that's going to put runners in scoring position here on second and third. Now an even better chance for the Cougars to get on the board here in the second. Monarchs come in to talk to Ayers. Brandon Zell comes in to kind of give him a chat. Shortstop Lotta comes in and daps him up a little bit. Says we're all right. Throw a ground ball here and we'll get out of the inning. Of course, Chris Cota thinking differently. This pitch is over for a strike. 1-1 count. That pitch misses high. Camacho ahead. Good chance to see one in the zone here. The left fielder Asher way off the left field line and pretty shallow here. Center field Lappner shaded towards right center. Is that one a breaking ball over for a strike? And so it's a 2-2 count. Camacho fouls this one off to the right. And we'll stay at 2-2. Like to get Mikey Kane up there. If you can, with runners in the scoring position. But obviously, if Ryan can drive him in, you'd like that just the same. So we wait on the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball over for a strike. So the Cougars leave two aboard here in the second inning. Camacho down on a breaking ball. Fourth strikeout for Ayers. We head to the third inning. Still no score between LA Valley and COC.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Welcome back in as we go to the third inning. Bring in our number 2 now, Matt Frieda, joining us along. Matt, nice to have you along here, buddy.
Yeah, nice to be here. Clean, crisp ball game so far, and the weather's holding up.
Yeah, I mean, it should today. I don't think we're going to get much rain. It's maybe coming in over the weekend. Matt, of course, our number 2 live stream intern here on the Cougar Sports Network for the rest of the year, so you'll hear him a little bit more often, which is pretty nice. It's nice to have. So we'll pump up some volume here as it's going to be for LA Valley, Tafola, Jong, and then Olivias to hit here. First to the ball game for LA Valley as Tafola leads things off here in the third with a sharp single out into left field. Good piece of hitting and a runner on for Jong. As Yoon Jong this year, hitting .350 on the season, just his 21st at bat of the year, 7 for 20. Only his 5th start of the season. As he faces Whiting into the third inning today, as they'll keep an eye on Tafola. As we take a look with Tafola on the bases this year, 3 for 3 when running. So certainly a guy that can move a little bit. So Whiting goes back to work and misses on the pitch.
Tofola with a stolen base in Tuesday's game when the Cougars took a 9-3 win over LA Valley. Let's see if he'll be moving here.
So Young will try and bunt, and bunts it foul. And it's interesting, we talk about the base stealing this year for LA Valley, Matt. We were talking about it. 31 stolen bases for LA Valley colleges. They've also given up 31 stolen bases, but they're 31 for 35 this year. And when you look at the Cougars on the other side, that's been a sore spot for COC this season. Have not been able to run very well this year. Just 6 stolen bases in 10 attempts. And they've given up 39 as a unit. So some of it's come back to the pitching staff as the year goes on. We've talked about it over and over here on the broadcast, as a lot of the times DJ Cougar not giving it a very good opportunity to try and throw runners out. Young fouls that one away as the runner was in motion. It's a 1 ball, 2 strikes count, at least according to the scoreboard. Sometimes the scoreboard's wrong. That one misses. And we'll say it's 2-2 here to Jong. Whiting with his first real trouble of the day with the leadoff runner aboard. He allowed a walk to Velasco in the second with 2 away. Tofola stays put. Jong fouls it away. We'll stay at 2-2.
We saw Tofola in motion with Jong showing bunt earlier in the at-bat. Let's see if he's moving here. He's not. That one's fouled down the third base line, and we'll do it again at 2-2.
Well, it's interesting. You would look at the numbers, Matt, and you would say if the opposing coach, you might look at those numbers if you're Anthony Hunting and think to yourself, well, this team struggles to throw runners out. When do we want to start putting guys in motion, putting some pressure on the defense? As it's really been a struggle for COC this year. As Young hits that one right on a 1-hop to Ambrose at third. His throw to second dug out by Ballesteros. They say the lost ball was on the transfer. So they get the leadoff runner for the first out here of the inning as Manolo Tofola cut down 5-4. A better throw that time from Ambrose, and it's a double play. Instead, Jiang on with a fielder's choice, and we go back to the top of the order with Tyler Olivius.
And not knowing the speed of Jiang there, that ball was hit so hard to Ambrose, he might have had time to pivot and make a better throw to second and not have had to rush it.
And certainly that's a factor as well. Not knowing the speed, maybe thinking I've got to go quicker. But either way, it brings Olivius back up. Jung in motion. Pitch was down. Throw from Cougar. Not in time. That was the best throw we've seen Cougar make here at Cougar Field in a while. Pretty solid throw from DJ that time. And I think the slide was just ahead of him. So Jung down to second base with a stolen base. And a runner in scoring position here for the Monarchs in the third inning. You talk about that's the 40th stolen base against this year, Matt, and that's just how much of that comes down to your pitcher needs to do a little bit better job getting the ball to the plate a little faster. As we've seen DJ have some chances, but there's been times he hasn't been able to make a throw even. It's been so far gone on the stolen base. And remember, the Cougar lineup, pretty much all freshmen this year. Obviously, some of the guys won't be back. Mikey headed to USC next year, certainly won't be back. It's a 3-1 count here to Olivius. popped up to second base in his first at-bat. As a runner out there in scoring position for the first time today for LA Valley. As Whiting will come to the plate. This one hit sharply past a diving Mikey Kane out into left field. Charging is Joey Roca, and will make a solid throw back to the infield, and it'll hold runners at the corners. So second hit of the ball game for LA Valley. As Olivius has his first hit of the game, we've got runners on first and second with one out, and Maddox Lotta coming in.
And that ball hit just so hard that the Monarch runner on second base had no chance of scoring on that one. It was deflected by Mikey Kane at short, but did not have enough time.
That's going to bring a visit out to the mound for the first time today. Is Ryan Paramo going to come out and have a chat with Brandon Whiting? For the Cougars this year, there's splits. The pitching staff, they've been much better at home. Actually, I wouldn't say much better. They've been better at home. The ERA, a half a point down. It's still high, 7.70. The strikeouts per 9 is actually down at 5.09 instead of 5.3 compared to on the road. They've given up more hits here at home, but the record at home has been a little bit better. And it's just been, again, it's kind of been a struggle for COC as they've got some action in the bullpen. As Whiting into the third. And a left-handed arm up in the Cougar bullpen trying to get to work here. Looks like maybe Justin Tejada. Yeah, that's who it is out there in the bullpen. So Lotta, who struck out, runner in motion. Cougar not even going to try to throw down, and that's been, we talked about it, Matt, that's been the problem for Canyons this year, consistently with runners on base. It's a 1-0 count here to Lotta as the first pitch missed down. That really gave DJ no chance. So takes the double play out too. So now Whiting's got to work with two runners in scoring position with just one away. Here in the LA Valley third. Whiting to the plate. This one lifted in the air towards center field. Camacho going back. Over his left shoulder will make the catch. One run will come home. Relay throw not going to be good enough to even challenge Olivius at third. So it's a sacrifice fly ball for Lotta, and LA Valley on the board with the first run of the ball game. As Jiang scores from third base, Olivius moves up to third base, and Jackson Lappner steps in, who grounded to second last time up. And it goes back to that double play, Matt, from Ambrose, how much more time he had than maybe he thought. Changes the dynamic of the inning. And how much you're a guy that played, how much of that gets into a pitcher's head during a ball game?
Well, it certainly can at times, and it really all depends on the pitcher himself, trusting his stuff and his teammates to go out and make the next play for him.
Is that pitch over for a breaking ball? Evens the count at 1-1. Lappner out of the left-handed batter's box has those red batting gloves on, not nearly close to any of the colors from LA Valley College, but that's kind of one of those things now with ball players. Is this one ripped out to right and deep? Gonzalez is not going to have a play on it as Lappner hits it into the Hasley Hall upper deck off a bounce. That's maybe the second longest ball I've ever seen hit here at Cougar Field. And Lappner goes deep with a two-run shot to make it 3-0 LA Valley here in the third.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt, you can wear whatever color batting gloves you want if you can hit the ball that far. That one hopped Hasley Hall out there, and you have to imagine that one got close to 400 feet.
I think the only ball I've ever seen hit harder, and if you've watched a baseball game here on the Cougar Sports Network before, I've mentioned it, and I'll keep mentioning it because it still baffles me to this day. And there's a reason why this guy is playing professional baseball, was in the KBO, but now might be on his way back to, I think, Texas or San Francisco. I can't remember where I read he was going, but Roberto Ramos, former COC Cougar, actually hit one into the second deck at Hasley Hall with a wood bat about 7 years ago, I want to say. And that was the longest ball I've ever seen hit here at Cougar Field. And that's saying a lot. The ball travels pretty well here at Cougar Field. It's historically been a high home run spot. But that one from Lappner certainly close to the one from Ramos. As some of the students out there should maybe be a little careful as they walk by. And so now Whiting, who gave up a leadoff hit, got a ground ball that could have been a double play, but has given up 3 hits in the inning and now walks. Brandazell.
And Whiting had been cruising over the first 2 innings, just 1 over the minimum. But walks will kill you, and he is digging himself a deeper hole here after the 2-run homer, issuing another walk.
And I think it's going to result in a pitching change as Chris Cota heads out, grabs the ball from Brandon Whiting, says it's all right. We'll try and get this last out for you. And a pitching change when we come back here on the Cougar Sports Network, as it's 3-0 LA Valley here from Cougar Field.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
So pitching change for College of the Canyons. Whiting goes 2 2/3. Still responsible for a runner out there, as he gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. A couple of walks, a couple of strikeouts as well. And he's responsible for that runner at first base, so we can't quite close the book on him yet. Runner in motion here on the first pitch. And Brandon Zell down to second base with a stolen base. So the 3rd stolen base of the ball game already for LA Valley College here.
End of this inning, and we haven't seen any pickoff attempts despite the Monarchs being in motion quite a bit here.
For Tejada this year, 0-1. This is his 8th appearance of the season. 12 2/3 innings pitched, giving up 18 hits, 18 runs, 14 earned, 16 walks, and 9 strikeouts. As this one grounded towards second base, big hop for Ballesteros. He'll pick it up and fire it over the first. So Tejada does his job, cleans up the inning as he sets down Wood on a ground ball towards second base. But 3 runs across, damage done by LA Valley. They get 3, 2 off a home run from Lappner, and they take a 3-0 lead into the home half of the 3rd here from Cougar Field.
COC's Fire Technology program goes beyond putting out fires. Our goal here is to provide our students with a competitive advantage in the hiring process.
It was life-changing for me, and it's exactly what I want to do. It's exactly where I want to be, and it's outside of my comfort zone, and it will be outside of your comfort zone, but you just got to do it. You just got to go all in and just full send and do it.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Home half of the third, Cougars trailing 3-0. Matt Robinson, Matt Frieda here with you from Cougar Field. Jazz over here staying warm. Our statistician. It'll be Mikey Kane, Doyle Kane, and DJ Cogar. I saw you dancing over here. As the sun starts to drop, it starts to get a little cooler here at Cougar Field. Mikey takes the first pitch for a late strike, and the Cougar bench wasn't happy about it. COC trying to get something going now, trailing 3-0. Mikey 0 for 1, struck out against Ayers in the first, behind 0-2.
Mikey would be a great person to get a rally started here. 2 hits and 2 RBIs in Tuesday's victory over LA Valley.
We've seen Mikey certainly rocket balls around the yard here, but he's down on strikes for the second time today as he chases a fastball up and in. That's a good pitch there from Ayers. Fifth strike out of the day. I'm right. I've got my notes right. Fifth strike out of the day for Ayers, and we head to Doyle Kane, who walked his first time up. So a tough start for the future Trojan. He's down on strikes twice, and his brother Doyle will try and pick him up here with 1 down in the third inning. Takes the first pitch inside. Ayers certainly looks pretty comfortable right now. As we said, high strikeouts, high walks so far this year. And has kind of done the same here today. 5 strikeouts, 3 walks in the ball game, and he's behind 2 balls and no strikes. That pitch misses up, so it's 3-0. Doyle takes that one over for a strike, makes it 3-1. Doyle, as we talked about, he and Mikey both missed the first handful of games. This is just their 12th and 13th start, respectively, this year. As Doyle fouls that one in the Cougar dugout, so the count is full. The Canes, of course, the sons of Lindy Kane, the track and field coach here at College of the Canyons, cross-country coach as well. Lindy's been here for a long time. Nearly, her and Chris Kona have been here for the better part of 2 decades. As Kona in his 22nd season as the head coach. Is this one a chopper towards short? Good throw from Lata, backing up, makes the play. And Matt, that's not an easy play with where that ball hopped on that second hop for him.
No, having to time the hop, and you have a choice there to either charge it and get it on one of the earlier hops or back up like he did. And then, of course, it makes for a much more difficult throw, but very nicely thrown ball there.
As here comes Cogar, walked his first time at the plate, takes the pitch up. So Ayers went 3-0 to Kane and then threw 3 straight strikes and results in a ground out. Faces Cogar here, and he throws a breaking ball for a strike. Ayers has really flashed that breaking ball a number of times today. He's looked very comfortable with it, has found the zone a lot. It's got a late heavy break on it too, which I think makes it deceptively hard for pitchers to or hitters to pick up, we should say, as it's kind of got, like we said, some late snap. It's almost like a pitch that you would see in softball at times with how late the snap is from him. Is that one over for a strike? So a 2-ball, 2-strike count here to Cougar. Canyons trailing 3-0, trying to get something going here in the third. This one chopped foul. So Cougar will come back and we'll do it again at 2-2. So Deej waits. Takes that pitch on the outer half for a breaking ball. Strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning. Sixth strikeout of the ball game for LA Valley. Cougars go down in order here in the third. We head to the fourth, a 3-0 lead for the Monarchs.
The restaurant and hotel business is the second largest industry in the state of California. Opportunities in such a vibrant career are a click away at College of the Canyons.
It teaches you how to work with people, how to motivate people, how to manage people, how to lead people. And those qualities are so in demand in whatever industry we choose to go into.
COC can get you started on a journey into hotel and restaurant management today.
And for up-to-date records and information about COC men's basketball and all 17 Cougar athletic teams, including schedule, scores, roster stats, game photos, and live stream links for home games, be sure to check out the College of the Canyons Athletics homepage at www.cocathletics.com.
And that's bad copy. It should say baseball, but that's on our SID. He forgets that we're like Ron Burgundy, and we just read the copy. I'm glad he didn't put a question mark in there for you, Matt, and it would have kind of crushed you there.
Well, my home is full of many leather-bound books and smells of rich mahogany. I'm Ron Burgundy.
I'm Ron Burgundy. As we go to the fourth inning here, having fun. It's all good. First pitch gets back to the screen. It's going to be Velasco, Asher, and Tofola. I'm glad you can roll lines from that movie that quickly. That's impressive.
Sure, you've seen that movie at least 35 times in its entirety.
Well, you're a better man than me. I love Will Ferrell, but I can only take so much of it from him before I
don't
get
know if
it.
It makes me a better man, or maybe one that just has too much time on his hands.
Well, that might be too. Velasco walked in his first at bat, and first plate appearance, and was stranded at first. As he takes that pitch down, as Tejeda still working here into the fourth inning, came in relief of Whiting, who gave up, as we said, 3 runs on just 3 hits. All 3 of the runs were earned. That's the second time Jesse's done that to us this year, though, with some bad copy. As Velasco walks for the second time. Yeah, but you did to me earlier. Okay, yeah. Well, again, we're like Ron Burgundy. We just read copy. You can't hear Jesse, but we're having a discussion about this. It's having fun here on a Thursday. Might as well. It's baseball. It's a good time.
Speaking of which, Major League Baseball will finally be returning.
That's actually very relevant here. I did not think that would get done, to be quite honest.
Well,
I don't know about you.
two petulant children finally reach a deal.
I certainly didn't expect it. I'm also a proponent, and I know this is blasphemy for a lot of baseball people, but I do actually believe that the baseball season should be shortened anyway. I think with the way the attention spans that we have today, myself included, 162 games is a lot.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah, exactly. Here's Asher. But we'll get away from that. We'll go back to work here on this baseball game. As Asher struck out his first time up. What did he do the other day, Matt, since you have those stats?
One for 4 with an RBI.
All right. So a 4-game hitting streak right now for Dorian Asher. As he goes to work here on a 2 balls and no strike count. Tejada trying to settle himself in with a runner on first here. As he gets that one over for a strike, and it makes it 2-1. Asher now on his longest hitting streak of the year at 4 games. Had a 3-game hit streak in games against Folsom Lake, Moore Park, and LA Harbor, but has kind of been up and down at times. One stretch of the year was 0 for 8. Had 3 games without a hit as he swings and misses on that one. Just 3 multi-hit games for him on the year this year. And we talked about kind of the records from LA Valley on the teams they've faced and being 13 games below 500 against opponent, or their opponents have been 13 games under 500 this year, and has helped them. Certainly, we said, doesn't mean everything, as you've seen the LA Valley offense kick up already here today. And Asher's certainly a guy that can contribute as he hits this one in the air towards right center field and deep. It's going to be high enough in the air for Camacho to get under it and make the catch. One away here in the 4th inning. That ball, you can see the wind kind of affecting it a little bit. The flags are blowing in here from the north-northeast. It's not heavy right now. It was a little heavier earlier on. But it kind of swirls around the buildings out behind center field, the North Commons and Hasley Hall, and kind of makes it kind of a wind tunnel as the ball kind of drifts out towards right field.
Jovan Camacho is getting his steps in today, chasing the ball all around the yard as it's been swirling left to right, right to left.
As here's Tofola, singled, and was cut down at second base in that 3-run 3rd inning for LA Valley, as the Monarchs have turned the lineup over. Second time around here for Tofola.
Saw Tejada throw over to first, trying to keep Velasco close.
And that's already been on the discussion today from us. It's the ability for COC to throw runners out really has not been there this year. It's just been something that they just have not had the ability to keep runners close and make it a little tougher on them stealing. As Velasco stays put on that pitch. Velasco just 1 for 1 this year on the bases, so not a guy that's asked to do a lot of running, but certainly maybe today with the Cougar defense kind of struggling throwing runners out, might be pressed into service here. He'll stay put on this pitch. It's hit in the air towards center field. Shallow. Camacho running in. Can't get there as he tries to dive and make a play. Gonzalez going to pick it up. Velasco going to try and go to third. And Gonzalez's throw just pulls Ambrose off the bag. So Velasco into third. It's a single for Tofola. And he moves up to second base on the throw. And LA Valley with runners in scoring position and 1 away. As we get to Yuan Jiang here with 1 down.
Well, Camacho had a lot of ground to cover. He was playing deep in center field, a nice diving attempt. It was nicely backed up there by Steven Gonzalez, who appeared he might have a play at third, but a 2-hop throw.
Well, and Matty Gonzalez is a guy this year that he's flashed his arm a lot. I know first game for you here this year with the Cougars, but we've seen him throw runners out, and I think that time just didn't have the right grip on the baseball, and that's why I was interested when Velasco decided to try and run. Gonzalez from that range in that spot on a throw to third can certainly get it there and challenge a runner, and Velasco just reading it well enough to be able to get there.
Well, one of those cases where you could do everything right in baseball and things still don't break your way. Nicely backed up by the right fielder. A great throw to third base, not in time. The runner advances to second. And now the Cougars find themselves in a little bit of trouble here again.
Pitching change here. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have it for you here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
And taking the mound for the Cougars here in relief of Tejada will be Scott Bauman. The freshman making his 7th appearance of the season. A 12.18 ERA in 17 innings. 23 earned runs, 28 hits in those 17 innings. And has also been the victim of the long ball quite a bit here this year. Surrendered 6 home runs to opponents, but will be called upon and asked to help the Cougars out of a jam here as they look to avoid letting the Monarchs put up crooked numbers in back-to-back innings. And the batter will be Olivas. Olivas, who popped up in the first and singled in the third. As the Cougars infield is drawn in, they will look to prevent a 4th run from coming in here. First pitch hit in the air to right center field. Gonzalez camped under it. Gets ready, makes the catch. The throw will come into third, but to no avail, not in time, as Olivas has a sac fly to bring in the 4th Monarchs run. And it is 4-0 Monarchs. So 2 away now.
As this is actually Olivas hitting, he hits this one in the air towards center field and deep. Camacho trying to shade his eyes from the sun will make the catch. So it's actually DeYoung with the sacrifice fly. Olivas flies out in the inning, but LA Valley gets another run. It's 4-0 in favor of the Monarchs as we head to the home half of the 4th here from Cougar Field.
COC's fire technology program goes beyond putting out fires.
Our goal here is to provide our students with a competitive advantage in the hiring process.
It was life-changing for me, and it's exactly what I want to do. It's exactly where I want to be, and it's outside of my comfort zone, and it will be outside of your comfort zone, but you just got to do it. You just got to go all in and just full send and do it.
If our turkey had a resume, it would say it's 99% fat-free, filler-free, and raised without antibiotics. But our turkey already has its dream job at Jersey Mike's. Premium meat makes a sub above.
Home half of the fourth we go. Gonzalez along to lead things off. Then Ambriz and Ballesteros as the Cougars now chasing 4 as LA Valley got another run in the fourth off the sacrifice fly from Jong. And still facing Ayers here into the fourth inning, who has settled himself in, has 6 strikeouts in the ball game, and really, Matt, it's come with the breaking ball today for him.
It looks like the bread and butter for him is the fastball, but the way he's been able to play the breaking ball off of it has been very remarkable for him.
That one down in the dirt, misses, and the count 2-1 here to Gonzalez. Steven grounded to short in his first at bat. Steven, a guy, as we said, the first 6 batters in the order, 7 guys in the order today really have been the everyday starters for COC, Gonzalez being one of them as he hits this one softly on the ground, but hard enough to get past a diving Brendan Zell out into left field for a base hit, and the Cougars have just their second hit of the ball game. Leadoff runner aboard here for Gonzalez. And I'll bring Andy Ambriz to the plate. As we were saying, for the Cougars, though, the top 7 today have really been their everyday starters. The only one missing, Tafton Hensley, and that's a big loss. Tafton Hensley this year, 4 home runs, 20 runs batted in for COC. He has been the power broker for them, really out of the 5-6 spot this year. And you talk about the Cougars this year have really used the long ball to their advantage when they've used it. Talking about 12 home runs this season, which is a pretty solid number considering everything. We talked about LA Valley being 21st in home runs with 12, now 13 after that home run earlier by Lappner. Cougars 12 as well, tied for 21st, and that's really been a strong spot on the offensive side for COC.
As Ayers goes back to that breaking ball and just pours it in right there. But you're absolutely right. Not having Tafton Hensley in the lineup really hurts them. Team leader in home runs and RBIs this year, and second in team hits with 18.
Gonzalez leads away from first. Ambriz checks his swing, but not well enough, so it's a strike, and it makes it 1-2. And that presses more guys like Andy Ambriz, Alex Ballesteros to really find a way to drive a ball in, drive some runs around, and we've seen it already today. The Cougars have left 2 runners on in both the first and the second inning. Since have not really had a runner in scoring position. As this one popped up in foul ground, it'll get out of play. As you see, Olivia's trying to chase it down. There's a lot of foul ground here at Cougar Field. We'll talk about that in a minute, but it presses into service Ambrose, Ballesteros in this lower half of the order after Gonzalez gets a hit to really go to work, try and drive in a run. And you really miss those RBIs, those 20 of them from Tafton Hensley here coming into today. Timeout as the home plate umpire not behind the plate. I'm wondering why.
And as we've said quite a bit throughout the broadcast today, is the Cougars' inability to steal bases and make plays. It only forces them to have to hit to bring their runs in, as opposed to forcing the other team to make plays.
It's that one, a breaking ball that just misses. Ayers goes right back to it. And the catcher that time, Velasco, trying to frame it up, did not get the call. So it'll make it a 2-2 count. And that's just not been something the Cougars have had in their game plan this year. I think Chris Cota opting not to run, opting to try and let his offense do the work. And certainly they have done the work this year at times. The offense has been there. We saw him put up 9 against LA Valley the other day at LA Valley College. Now trailing here 4-0, need to start to get busy as we are in the 4th inning. So it's a 3-2 count here to Ambriz with Gonzalez leading away from first base. Ayers, for the first time today, has given up the leadoff runner. And Ambriz fouls that one straight back into the screen. Andy this year has kind of been up and down in the lineup. At times he's been as high as 5th. Lowest has been 8th this year, batting in the 6th spot here today. Just 9 RBIs on the year. Has 3 doubles. And a home run as he works a walk. So Ambriz on, and the Cougars with runners on first and second, nobody out. And it's going to be a visit to the mound from LA Valley as the pitching coach for the Monarchs, Eric Bloom, or excuse me, Josh Goosen Brown actually going to head out to talk to Ayers, who's in his first real big trouble of the day. Yeah, Cougars had runners on first and second with 2 out, or with 2 away in the first, second and third with 2 away in the second inning, but now with first and second nobody out, a real chance for COC to go to work and try and move some runners around. As Ayers gave up the leadoff single to Gonzalez and then walked Ambriz. His 4th walk of the ball game.
Fans of the College of the Canyon Sports Information Department would like to remind you to visit cocathletics.com all year long for news, information, statistics, photos, and live stream links related to the college's 17 intercollegiate sports programs.
And Jesse Munoz, our SID, does a great job keeping the website up to date, bringing up some cool stories. Starting to have a new feature on there, the Athlete of the Week. Should check it out, see who's the Athlete of the Week this week. And keep tabs on the Cougar baseball program, Cougar softball program, as well as the ladies in action on the softball field right now. Against, I believe, LA Mission College today. I'll have to double check my schedules. Ambriz swings and misses, and he's behind in the count, 0-2.
And Ayers working backwards there, starting with his breaking ball, then going back to his fastball for the second swinging strike there.
And maybe that was the conversation from the pitching coaches. We need to maybe change something up here a little bit, as I think they're starting to get hip to your game. So that one misses away. As it's a 1-ball, 2 strikes count here to Ballesteros, who singled in the second. Be an opportune time for another base hit right now, as the Cougars trying to get something working here in the 4th. So he takes that pitch down and in. And it's a 2-ball, 2 strike count.
Maybe losing the feel for that breaking ball. Been a little inconsistent this inning.
Gonzalez at second, Ambriz at first, Ballesteros at the plate. The 2-2 pitch fouled into the catcher's glove. Ballesteros down on strikes. That's the 7th strikeout from Ayers today. First out here, the 4th inning. And Joey Roca going to step in. Roca 0 for 3 on the year. Just his 4th at-bat of the season, but a chance to hit here with 2 on and 1 away.
You're hoping from Ballesteros there to, at the very least, put the runners in scoring position there. Tough at-bat to not have been able to move the runners over.
Roca shows bunt, pulls it back, takes a strike. It's interesting now that you bunt with Roca with 1 away, and the bunt is kind of something that's disappeared from the game of baseball, the sacrifice bunt. We don't see it a lot anymore. We actually harp on that quite a bit here on the Cougar Sports Network during baseball games, is the lack of old school baseball being played. The new school rules kind of just dictate you to try and let your hitters do their work.
Well, if the bunt is not extinct yet, it is absolutely an endangered species when it comes to baseball these days. But to have Roca showing bunt here on the first pitch comes as a surprise to me after the strikeout from Ballesteros there.
Maybe thinking just trying to get it to Jovan Camacho with 2 on, see if he can bring up a hit, put 2 runners in scoring position. As it's a 1-1 pitch to Roca. That one over for a strike on the inside, makes it 1-2. Cougars actually playing Citrus today in softball, so we got that one wrong. And right now, bottom of the 3rd, no score is listed on that game. So a tight one between Citrus and College of the Canyons over on the softball field. This one a 4-0 lead for LA Valley here in baseball. The Monarchs with 3 in the 3rd inning and 1 in the 4th as Roca stays alive, fights that one off, and will stay up there at 1-2. It's not as though the Cougars have had not had opportunities here. 2 runners on in the 1st, 2 runners on in the 2nd. Just have not been able to push one across. So there's been action going on in the Monarch bullpen for the better part of this 4th inning. Roca fouls that one off and stays alive once again. For the Monarchs, looks like, through my binoculars, trying to look over the top of the dugout. And I don't think I have it right. It might be Daniel Para trying to get a number and see. Unfortunately, the dugouts kind of shield the bullpen here down the first base line. Down the third base line, the batting cage behind the Cougar dugout shields the Cougar bullpen. So it makes it difficult on us to see up here in our location to kind of figure things out. Bullpen's actually in play here at Cougar Field.
Roca working good at bat here.
Back to 2-2, takes a breaking ball up. You're certainly right, Matt. Gets it back to a 3-2 count as he was behind early on. But has it now at 3-2 with one away. As he waits on the pitch, swings and fights this one off to the right once again. So battle here from Roca, and this is one of those at-bats in a ball game, Matt, that can change the way the complexion of the game sits. If the Cougars can get a big hit here out of Joey Roca, get some runners on, start to turn things around.
I'm curious how it will dictate the Cougars' game plan should they choose to potentially then pinch hit with Hensley.
And I'm not sure Tafton's available here today. That's, I think, the thing. I think last time up he was kind of hurt. Is this one on the ground towards the shortstop? Lotta picks it up, steps on second, throws it to first. And a 6-3 inning-ending double play as Roca hit it off the side of the mound and went right to the shortstop, Lotta, who was in double play depth. And that'll end the inning. So the Cougars leave leave one on here in the fourth inning, but had a chance with 2 on and nobody out and couldn't push a run across. We head to the fifth. Still a 4-0 ball game. Fifth inning we go. It'll be Lotta, Lappner, and Brandon Zell. Or Brandzel, I should say. Due up here in the fifth inning. Lotta 0 for 1. Had a sacrifice fly ball that drove in a run in the third. Swings and hits the first pitch in the air, hooking towards the right field foul line, and it'll get out of play foul. Nearly cleared the right field wall as it bounced off the base of the wall, but the wind just pushing it further along that way. And the flag right now here at Cougar Field is pretty limp up the flagpole right above the scoreboard out in left field, but we can see the flag at the softball field kind of swirling around, and it tells you a different story. Like, the wind here is, especially on windy days like today, kind of wild to judge. So that pitch misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. This ball hit in the air off the first base line, and it'll get into the hill out behind right field. It's a pretty cool place to watch a game here at Cougar Field. We've got some nice stands behind home plate, which you can't quite see, and then the hill all down the right field line that people will actually spread out along. Some space down the left field line as well. Lots of foul territory here at Cougar Field, but it's a beautiful little ballpark. Your mic is off.
Quite a bit of foul territory. Quite a bit of foul territory. And as you alluded to, the wind might have taken that one out of play. Might have been an opportunity to field that one in foul ground without this wind today.
There's a lot of swings and misses. Cougar can't tag him, but we'll just throw it down to Kane. So a strikeout here for Bauman, who took over in the 4th inning, I believe, right? First strikeout of the day for Bauman. One away. Actually, one of the coolest scenes I've ever seen here, Matt, was actually, I want to say 6 years ago. It was actually a high school baseball game. It was a playoff game. It was a big one. 2 local teams in the semifinals, a chance to go to the CIF Southern Section Championship game, Hart and Saugus. And this place was packed. We had full seating in the stands. Probably 500 to 1,000 people down the line in right field, maybe even more. It was quite busy here that day. It was a nice ball game too, 3-2 in extra innings. It was a pretty fun ball game. Haven't quite seen anything like that here for the Cougars, but hoping to get back to that point. As Lappner, who had that 2-run home run in the 3rd inning, that was a monster shot out to Hasley Hall. Standing in here, facing Bauman. The 1-1 pitch misses away. Bauman was the opening day starter for the Cougars this year. Has since slotted in as a bullpen pitcher. Kind of one of those pitcher by committee situations for College of the Canyons. So Bauman working on a 2-1 count, facing Lappner, who swings and hits that one high in the air. It'll be playable this time. It'll be Jovan Camacho drifting over and making the catch in shallow right center field. 2 away. Strikeout.
Brenzel takes first pitch low and away in the dirt for ball 1. Bauman did a good job in the previous inning, getting the Cougars out of a mess, limiting the damage to just 1 run. His 1-0 pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Count evens. Breaking ball just off the plate. And the count goes to 2-1 for Brenzel.
Brenzel 0 for 1. Did you mention that? I wasn't listening. 0 for 1. Walked and grounded to to 3rd base. As he faces Bauman here on a 2-1 count. It's a team effort up here. We were helping with some stats, so Jazz does a great job, though. She actually does our basketball stats, too. She's hampered by Jesse a little bit, but gets them done. As we wait on the pitch here from Bauman. That one hit in the air towards center field. Camacho going to have to drift back. Looks like he'll have a play on it. We'll make it just in front of the wall. So Bauman sets down the side in order in the 5th. Pair of flyouts to center field. And we head to the home half of the 5th inning, still 4-0 in favor of LA Valley.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Home half of the fifth we go. Cougars trailing 4-0. Pitching change here for LA Valley as Ayers goes 4. Daniel Parra going to take over. So Ayers not in line for the win now as he doesn't make it enough. Parra now will come in with the lead. His 4th appearance of the year. 3.38 ERA in 2 2/3 innings. 4 hits, 5 runs, just 1 earned run, 3 walks and a strikeout. He'll face Jovan Camacho, Ryan Camacho, and then Mikey Kane. That pitch misses up. Parra, freshman right-hander out of Hart High School, so a local kid. As Camacho hits this one in the air towards left field. Asher misplays it as it gets down, and Camacho going to head out to second base. Asher turned over his left shoulder initially, thought the ball was maybe going to be over his head, and then had to turn back and just does not come up with it. So Camacho on, and then Ryan hits a ground ball in the infield that's picked up by Branzel and throws him out at first, but he drives home his brother Jovan for the first run of the game for the Cougars. 5-3 the scored out. Jovan actually took third base on a ball in the dirt, and so he scores and COC gets on the board. As Ryan Camacho drives in another. For Camacho this year, that's Ryan's 9th RBI of the year, and that'll bring Mikey Kane to the plate now. And Kane hits the first pitch out to right field, but it's going to twist foul. So the Cougars get on the board here in the 5th. An error by the left fielder Asher on what should have been a routine fly ball. He just misplayed it.
And perhaps some momentum now for the Cougars with Ayers off the mound, who really was shutting them down and even was able to get that inning-ending double play to end the 4th.
As Parra dishes this one down, and Mikey Kane just reaches out and pokes it into left field for a base hit. Just the 3rd hit of the ball game for the Cougars. But Mikey Kane on with a single, and now Doyle Kane up with one away and a runner on first base. Parra. So Cougars with something working here in the 5th inning. And it starts on that error, Jovan Camacho on a fly ball that was hit out to left field that should have been playable for Ayers. Camacho gets his way to second base, and that's just hustle play from Jovan, and that's what the Camacho boys really bring to the table, is that ability to hustle and put pressure on the defense, even on errors. to create something out of nothing as Parra misses that pitch down.
And sometimes that is exactly what can jumpstart a team. An error from the opponent, your teammate hustling, taking the extra base, getting in that first run feels like a huge weight lifted off their shoulders.
As Kane over at first base has to dive back, Parra tries to pick him off. Mikey this year, one of the few Cougars that has not really attempted many on the stolen base, or actually, I wouldn't say one of the few Cougars, one of the many Cougars that has not attempted stolen bases this year. Only Tafton Hensley's been really consistent on the base pass. Is this one grounded back of the hole? Going to be a long throw for Lotta. He's not going to get Doyle Kane. And it's an infield single for Doyle Kane, puts runners on first and second as the Kane boys with back-to-back hits, and DJ Cougar coming to the plate now.
Well, the Monarchs now beginning to show some cracks in the foundation, and the Cougars with a great opportunity to climb their way back into this game by virtue of not too many hard-hit balls, but rather an error and a few well-placed hits.
So now DJ goes to work with one out. Cougar swings, hits the first pitch in the air to right field. Wood drifting towards the line will make the catch at the foul line. Everybody going to tag and move up 90 feet. So Doyle does his job, moves runners into scoring position, and it'll bring up Steven Gonzalez. That ball had some travel on it there, Matt. A little bit more with the wind.
Again, the wind really has been misleading. The ball appears like it was going to stay in fair territory, drifts into foul territory. It looks like that's where he made that catch, just over the foul line.
Yeah, it might have been a half a step into over the right field line. But it puts runners on second and third here with plenty of speed out there in Doyle Kane at second base. He's the one that would have to really get on his horse on a base hit here. There's now a chance for Gonzalez to try and drive in a couple. Steven today has a single and a ground out, 1 for 2. As he's ahead in the count 1-0 here against Parra, who's kind of struggled his way through the inning, has 2 outs. That breaking ball misses down. Parra has looked less than comfortable here at Cougar Field so far. Got Camacho to hit a fly ball out to left that was just misplayed by Asher. Got Ryan Camacho to ground to third. Got DJ Cougar to fly out, but has given up a couple of hits to the Canes. And now way behind here against Steven Gonzalez, who's now sitting one spot on a 2-0 pitch. And instead of breaking ball down in the dirt, and it's 3-0, Parra in danger of walking the bases loaded here.
And 2-0 breaking ball there may come as a surprise to some, but the Monarchs watched as Gonzalez hit 2 home runs against them on Tuesday. May not want to be the victim of that again. Rather, give him the free pass and leave it up to the next guy on the Cougars.
That one misses up, so it's a 4-pitch walk to Gonzalez. And now the Cougars with the bases loaded and 2 away here in the 5th inning. And a chance for Andy Ambrose to try and go to work. So Ambrose, who's 0 for 1, a strikeout and a walk today. Facing Parra here with the bases loaded. And this is a huge spot for the Cougars in the 5th. Chance to try and get themselves right back in the ball game. The base hit here from Ambrose. So the first pitch misses up, and that's 5 straight balls from Parra. So now if you're Parra, you just need to try and find a strike here. In a 4-1 ball game with the bases loaded, Ambrose hits this one in the air to right field, down the line. That'll get down for a fair ball. 2 runs should score at least. Cougar going to try and score from first base. The throw going to be up the first base line, not in time, and Ambrose ties the game with an RBI base hit here in the 5th that clears the bases. Ambrose all the way up to third. as he wipes the bases clean with an RBI hit. So we'll call it an RBI double, advances on the throw. The Canes and Gonzalez, it was actually Gonzalez, not Cougar, scoring from first.
And a nice piece of hitting there by Ambriz, not trying to do too much. Knew that the pitcher was, Parra was struggling to find the zone, just pokes it the other way.
And now Ballesteros, who's 1 for 2 in the ball game, can give the Cougars their first lead of the day as they've put up 4 here in the 5th. It all started with the error that led off the inning and extended this inning out. That one chopped foul, and Ballesteros behind 0-2. You're absolutely right for Ambriz. Absolutely a great piece of hitting to take that pitch down the right field line. It was on the outer half, and he just went with it.
And that can be difficult at times, especially with the bases loaded. The Cougars may be playing a little tight earlier in this game, trailing 4-0.
But they've gotten themselves right back in the ballgame. It's a new game as we go to the 6th. As Parra strikes out Ballesteros to end the inning, but the Cougars get 4, thanks in part to a 3 RBI double from Andy Ambriz. We head to the 6th inning in a 4-all ball game.
The restaurant and hotel business is the second largest industry in the state of California. Opportunities in such a vibrant career are a click away at College of the Canyons.
It teaches you how to work with people, how to motivate people, how to manage people, how to lead people. And those qualities are so in demand in whatever industry we choose to go into.
COC can get you started on a journey into hotel and restaurant management today.
And welcome back to Cougars Field. Fans, don't forget there are a number of upcoming broadcasts on the Cougar Sports Network schedule of event. Thursday, March 17th, COC Softball takes on LA Mission at 2:30 p.m. right here at Whitten Field, just across the way. Tuesday, March 22nd, Canyons Baseball is hosting Antelope Valley College at 2:30 p.m.
His first pitch swinging was Wood. Sorry to cut you off there, Matt. And Roca makes a play out in left field on a ball that nearly got over his head and one away.
Thursday, March 26th, softball is back home for a doubleheader versus Santiago Canyon with games slated for 12 and 2 p.m. And Tuesday, March 29th, the action shifts back to Cougar Field as baseball closes out the month with a home game versus West LA at 2:30 p.m. And as always, games will be live streamed to fans free of charge via YouTube on the Cougar Sports Network. And that breaking ball finds the zone to even the count at 1-1.
So here's Robert Velasco, who's walked both times he's come to the plate today, facing Bauman here in the 6th. That pitch misses down. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. It's a brand new ball game here, Matt. 4 runs for the Cougars in the 5th inning. Made this a 4-all ball game, and now you play a short game here starting in the 6th.
That's right. It'll come down to the middle relief and whose bullpen can be most effective here in the waning innings.
Bauman gets that one over for a strike. It's 2-2. Sorry. So it's a 2-2 count. Pitch misses down, so the count is full. So Velasco out for the first time today, down on strikes. 2 down here in the 6th inning. Bauman with his second strikeout of the ball game. And Dorian Asher will come to the plate. Asher 0 for 3 today. Struck out, flew out. Or 0 for 2, I should say. Struck out and flew out to center field. So hit with 2 away here. So make sure you do tune in as we finish up Maddie's little chat there on the Cougar Sports Network. Lots more baseball and softball action for you here. It should be fun. I've got a week off, though, after today. It's a very rare light schedule for the next week plus. I don't think I've had a week off from games in, I don't know, since December probably.
Well deserved.
It's been heavy. So we'll take it. We'll take any break we can get.
A very well-earned vacation for you, man.
Yeah, it's not really a vacation. Still got to work. Is that one over for a strike? Nope, still got to work other places. Got to pay the bills. You know how it is.
And Bauman has been very effective here, who came in to relieve Tejada in the 4th. Allowed his inherited runner to score, but since then has kept the Monarchs at bay for the most part.
And that's really all you ask from your middle relief, is to keep the game in a manageable spot and hope your offense can do the job, especially here at home. As that one hit in the air towards left field, Roca drifting back towards the wall, won't be able to make the catch, hits off the base of the wall, and into second base is Asher with a 2-out double.
And Bauman and the Cougars may have been the recipients of some good luck from the wind there, because that ball appeared it might have had the legs to get out, but with the wind blowing in toward the field, looks like it might have kept it in the yard. But no complaints from Bauman or from the Cougars. As it stands, it'll be just a double. First pitch high for a ball.
And yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Matt, that the wind maybe helped out and kept that ball in the ballpark, as Asher certainly gave it a ride. Tofola will try and bring him in. Tofola 2 for 2 today with a couple of singles. It's the first real chink in Bauman's armor since taking over in the 4th, that double from Asher. Is that one over for a strike, and it evens the count at 1-1.
Good breaking ball there from Bauman to even the count.
And Bauman's crafty. He's not going to overpower anybody. He doesn't really bring extra heat behind him, but uses his off-speed pitch as well, mixes them in along with the fastball, and tries to keep hitters off balance. Kind of has an interesting delivery as well. Kind of falls, brings the ball way over the top, which is not seen, I think, a lot of anymore really in any level of baseball. A lot of guys really come out of the 3/4 slot now. It's a lot more of that 3/4, and Bauman really way over the top, which makes that breaking ball really a 12-6 breaking ball instead of a really a 9 to 3, 9 to 4. I think the only guy that really throws a 12-6 curveball anymore along baseball is that one in the dirt. Cougar picks it up, makes a strong throw to third, and he cuts down Asher. Really nice play from Cougar behind the plate. Blocks the ball, picks it up, fires it down to third base, cuts down Asher for the 3rd out of the 6th inning. And we head to the home half of the 6th in a 4-all ball game here from Cougar Field.
The new media journalism program focuses on hands-on training for up-and-coming multimedia journalists.
We do shows every 2 weeks, and students put together their own stories. They go out and shoot them, they do the voiceover, they edit them together. It's a really, really cool hands-on experience.
If you want to dive right into the world of journalism, this is the only place to do it.
If our turkey had a resume, it would say it's 99% fat-free, filler-free, and raised without antibiotics. But our turkey already has its dream job at Jersey Mike's. Premium meat makes a sub above.
So we go to the 6th. 4-all ball game. As Bauman gets some help from the defense that time, and we've harped on it a lot here today, the inability to throw runners out. But that time, Cougar did a phenomenal job on a ball in the dirt as he's able to cut down Asher, who makes one of the cardinal sins of baseball, making the third out at third base. And the Cougars will try and go back to work on the offensive side with Roca, Camacho, and Camacho, the scheduled hitters.
In these last 2 innings, it does feel like the winds are shifting, and I don't mean the winds and gusts here at Cougar Field, but rather the momentum as the Cougars tied the game with 4 in the bottom of the 5th and ending the top of the 6th there, throwing out the runner at third. Cougars have to be happy with where they're standing right now.
It certainly seems that way as the Roca will step in 0 for 2 today. Shadows have started to creep in towards the pitcher's mound. Home plate completely covered by the shadows from the trees. A little bit of sun poking through, but we'll see those grow as the game goes on. Lots of trees and a mountain behind us here at Cougar Field, and the sun falling behind it and falling quickly. Is that one over for a strike to Roca? As you talk about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. This one chopped towards third, picked up by Branzel, and he'll throw Roca out for the first out of the inning. So one away, Jovan Camacho, who reached and scored in the 5th inning, stepping in. Parra trying to settle himself in after giving up those 4 runs in the 5th. That pitch misses down.
Going to his breaking ball there. 2-0 might have caught Camacho by surprise.
As Camacho swings and misses. Evens it at 2-2. Jovan 0 for 0 for 1 today, actually, we should say. Walked and, as we said, reached on that error on the fly ball to Asher in left field, who's even more shallow right now with Camacho at the plate. Last time Asher was probably about 10 steps back and misplayed that ball out to left, and he's moved even closer in, trying to take away that little slap hit from Camacho out to left field. As the rest of the outfield pretty much straight away in normal depth, infield back other than the third baseman, Branzel, who's about halfway between the bag and the grass. As we wait on the 2-2 pitch, Camacho just fights it off into the dugout. That's the second time today the Cougars dugout has been in harm's way.
Peril. Watch your lips, as baseball players often say.
As we wait on 2-2, Camacho trying to battle here against Parra. That one down, and the count now full. 3-2, 1 away here in the 6th inning. It's a 4-all ball game. Cougars with 4 runs in the 4th inning. LA Valley with 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th. And that's the story of the game so far. As Camacho hits this one back up the middle on the ground, it'll get past the diving second baseman to Fola, as it's a CNI single for Camacho. But the Cougars with a runner on here in the 6th inning with a 1 away. Bring Ryan Camacho back to the plate.
Nice piece of hitting there by Jovan. It was in on the hands. Didn't try to do too much. Right back up the box. Nearly took out Parra, the pitcher, but just above his glove and through the infield for a 1-out single.
And you talk about not doing too much, and that's something that maybe folks at home don't quite understand what you mean by not doing too much. A ball in on the hands, not trying to lift it over over anybody's head, just trying to put it in play, fight it off, something, get yourself a chance to get on.
And trying to just hit the ball sometimes where it's pitched and doing what is within your ability. And that might not mean swinging for the fences all the time, but
as Jovan in motion on the pitch, Ryan puts this one on the ground. Jovan going to try and take third base as Camacho out at first. Jovan out at third. So the Cougars trying to play aggressive, run themselves out of the 6th inning as we go to the 7th in a 4-all ball game here from Cougar Field.
I love emergency medicine. You're there at these people's worst time of their life, and you're there to make it a little bit better.
The EMT program at COC is a one-semester program. Over the course of it, the EMT students will learn the textbook knowledge they need, practical hands-on skills that they're going to need working out on an ambulance or in a hospital or whatever setting they decide to work.
People are constantly hiring. There's always a need for first responders. When I graduated from this program, I got a job within a month.
The restaurant and hotel business is the second largest industry in the state of California. Opportunities in such a vibrant career are a click away at College of the Canyons.
It teaches you how to work with people, how to motivate people, how to manage people, how to lead people. And those qualities are so in demand in whatever industry we choose to go into.
COC can get you started on a journey into hotel and restaurant management today.
fans, are you following COC Athletics on social media? Become a fan of COC Athletics on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and be in on all the action and excitement for the 2022 season. Follow COC Athletics today.
As we go to the top half of the 7th inning, it'll be Tofola who was left at the plate after Asher tried to take third and was cut down for the final out. And really the Cougars and the Monarchs mirroring one another just a little bit there in that 6th inning. Although the Cougars with a little just extra aggression that just didn't quite pay off. And it was really a perfect defensive play from LA Valley as we were talking about in the break, Matt. A good play by the third baseman, a better relay throw from the first baseman, Olivias, to get it to the shortstop in Lata, and it just all timed out very well.
Well, for a Cougars team that's not aggressive, at least in the stolen base category, trying to make something happen there on the base paths, and LA Valley up to the task.
It's Tofola 2 for 2 today, standing in to face Bauman, who works into the 7th here. Breaking ball from Bauman down in the dirt. Scott's been very comfortable up there, other than giving up that one inherited runner, has really locked things down. Set down the side in the order in the 5th, got some help in the 6th to do the same. After he gave up the 2-out double to Asher. That one misses down, and the count now 3-1. It's just game number 2 of the conference season this year for both sides. Cougars 1-0 and tied for first in the Western States South, and LA Valley tied for second at 0-1. So it's only been 2 games, still early on. This one chopped towards third. Ambrose picks it up and makes a strong throw over to first. Sets down Tofola for the first time today, 5-3, 1 out.
And Bauman has had the breaking ball working for him and really has done a good job of limiting hard contact. Other than the double that rang off the left center field wall in the top of the 6th, haven't been too many balls that have been hit very hard off of him.
No, you look, Lappner's a fly out, Branzel a fly out, Wood a fly out, a couple of strikeouts, and then that ground ball from Tofola. He works ahead here to Jong. As it's no balls and 1 strike. And you're absolutely right, Matt. I mean, he's been very soft contact against, and that's part of that craftiness I think we talked about from him, that ability to mix in the off-speed pitches. Throws that 12-6 curveball, which we didn't get to finish that thought last inning, but think the only guy left in the major leagues that really throws a 12-6 breaking ball. We talked about Clayton Kershaw. I know for a while you said Baumgartner threw one, but I think he's gone away from that too. It's a lot of power sliders out there now.
That's right. It's become a rare pitch in the majors, and I think a large bit of that is attributed to the stress that it puts on a pitcher's elbow to be throwing those kinds of pitches.
Good pitch that time from Baumann. Just misses down. Makes the count 2-1. Well, it's interesting. You talk about stress on a pitcher's elbow, and the 12-6, certainly if you throw it too much can cause that problem. But a lot of guys now, as we've seen throughout the years, starting to have that Tommy John surgery, a lot more blown out elbows, a lot of guys coming back throwing stronger. And I think the stress on the elbow kind of is just intensified just by every pitch they're throwing. Everybody's throwing harder. Everybody's throwing exploding sliders. Everybody's throwing 90-mile-an-hour fastballs. And it's funny because you see guys like Rich Hill, who throws nothing but breaking balls, has no problems with his elbow.
Well, you look at the Jamie Moyer.
Yeah.
Carved out a nice 22-year career in the big leagues and probably never threw the ball much harder than 92 miles per hour.
Yeah. It's just it's a different game. It's changed quite a bit, even from the last 15 years. It's kind of interesting. And it makes it nice to see Baumann, who's kind of a throwback style. He's not going to overpower anybody, just going to be crafty around the plate as he walks Jiang here. And it'll get us back to the top of the order with Olivias. Guy that always comes to mind in terms of that was Greg Maddux as well. Guy that pitched for 20 years, didn't throw 89 miles an hour or more.
Death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yep, exactly. It's Jiang over at first base. We'll see if he's in motion here. He was already running earlier in the ball game, and Baumann has that in the back of his mind. We'll make sure he stays close. So there's a big spot here for the Baumann in the 7th inning with 1 down as he faces the top of the order now. Olivias 1 for 3 today. Scored on the 2-run home run from Lappner in the 3rd after he came up with a single.
Baumann paying plenty of attention to Jiang over at first base. Back-to-back pickoff attempts, looking to keep him close.
Not a long lead from Jiang. Inside the cutout over at first base. Kind of opens his right foot up to get himself in a motion to move. Decides to stay put. And Baumann comes to the plate with a fastball for a strike. Makes it 0-1.
Ground ball is the exact type of medicine that Baumann could use right here for an inning-ending double play.
Comes with a breaking ball that time, though, and he pumps it in for a strike, and he's way ahead here, 0-2. And that hurt the Cougars early in the ball game in that 3rd inning. Had a ground ball to Andy Ambrose that should have been a tailor-made 5-4-3 double play, but Ambrose made a low throw that Ballesteros had to dig out and then lost on the transfer trying to get Jiang. Is Jiang going to move this time? Is that breaking ball going to squirt away from Cougar? Kicked off the side of his left arm as he went down.
Just received news from our official scorer. That'll go down as a pass ball.
Jiang now leading away from second base on a 1-2 pitch. Olivias fouls this up the left field line. On the ground, so we'll do it again. Cougars have kind of just decided to go with Baumann here. Nobody else in the bullpen. It's been rare. We've seen a lot of times this year guys just getting 1 or 2 innings and letting new guys come in with clean innings. But today, Baumann going to work.
Early on in conference matchups here for the Cougars, it's been their middle relief that's kept them in. A big reason why they got their victory on Tuesday against LA Valley.
This one hit right back up the middle, past Baumann into center field for a base hit. Camacho charging will be able to hold the runners at the corners here. Olivias thought about maybe trying to get caught up and see if they could spring Jiang, but Cougars hip to it. But it's a hit for Olivias. His 2nd of the ball game puts runners on the corners with 1 away, and it'll bring up Maddox Lotta. Similar script to the 3rd inning here, Matt. Lotta up with runners on the corners. That time had a sacrifice fly ball out into center field. The Cougars going to put a play on here to make sure they have something designed in case LA Valley tries to sneak a runaway.
And this is where holding runners becomes crucial for the Cougars, something they haven't done well this year. Keeping that double play intact here is crucial to getting out of this inning right now for Bauman.
Arm going up in the bullpen. Xavier Stoker up getting work. At least that's what I think it was. I thought I saw 21. Yeah, and it's Xavier Stoker out there. Yes, the hair kind of gives it away as well. And he's getting loose in a hurry, so Stoker's kind of been the late inning guy right now for COC over the middle part of this season.
And they have leaned on him, leads the team in appearances with 11.
Kind of a guy that can go every day, works you 1 or 2 innings, and can come back again the next time. It's Bauman again, making sure he keeps Olivias at first base close. Olivas, sorry, not Olivias. Pronouncing the name wrong because I'm not reading what I'm writing down. I'm just saying things. It happens. Olivas in motion this time. Actually, he'll stay put. Bauman going to tie his shoe up, got a little laugh. Jesse Budos comes walking up with an old score sheet for Matt Frieda from one of the previous games, and Matt goes, "No, I was throwing that away." Well, it was out in the street, so we picked it up and brought it back.
Information overload decided that it wasn't
it wasn't relevant for today.
No. And yet it's found its way back to
It's
me.
found its way back to you. That pitch misses away.
Bauman and Koner maybe not on the same page here as he steps off and communicates with his battery mate.
Bauman again misses away. He's way behind here to Lotta. I would think you would want to attack Lotta instead of facing the big bat of Lappner, who's already shown off his power today. Runners on the corners here, 1 out in the 7th inning. And that one, I don't know where that one missed. It looked pretty close, but it's a walk. So the base is now loaded full of Monarchs here. And Chris Cota coming out, and I think he's going to lift Bauman and go to Xavier Stoker, as they'd rather have Stoker here face Lappner, who's already got a 2-run home run in the ball game here today. And that will indeed bring a pitching change. We'll have it officially for you when we come back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
If our turkey had a resume, it would say it's 99% fat-free, filler-free, and raised without antibiotics. But our turkey already has its dream job at Jersey Mike's. Premium meat makes a sub above.
The restaurant and hotel business is the second largest industry in the state of California. Opportunities in such a vibrant career are a click away at College of the Canyons.
It teaches you how to work with people, how to motivate people, how to manage people, how to lead people. And those qualities are so in demand in whatever industry we choose to go into.
COC can get you started on a journey into hotel and restaurant management today.
Here at IQ, which stands for Institute for Culinary Education at College of the Canyons, we offer 3 certificates: a baking and pastry certificate, a culinary arts certificate, and a wine studies certificate, as well as an associate's degree in the culinary arts. We are an accelerated program, so you can finish between a year and a year and a half. We create a culinary community here at College of the Canyons.
So Xavier Stoker going to get the call here with the bases loaded and 1 away in the 7th inning. Xavier this year, 8.10 ERA. This is his 12th appearance of the year. 13 1/3 innings pitched. Has given up 21 hits, 17 runs, 12 of them earned. 2-1 strikeouts to walk with 14 strikeouts, just 7 walks this year. But has really solidified the back end of the bullpen as the season has gone on. A lot of those runs he gave up, a lot of those hits he gave up early in the year when he was still getting loose, still getting to work. And remember, it's been 2 years since a lot of these guys have played baseball competitively due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So now that Xavier's kind of found his rhythm once again, tries to get himself in here and go to work. And so face Lappner, who's got 5 home runs now on the year. And a chance to try and give LA Valley the lead once again. As it's 4-all here in the 7th inning. Bases loaded and 1 away. As Jiang, who walked, Olivias, who singled, and Lata, who walked, lead from 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. Stoker's first pitch, a breaking ball down in the dirt, and I think that caught DJ in a spot you don't want to get hit if you're a male.
Well, if you played the game of baseball, you've all been there.
Yeah, we certainly have.
But as you mentioned, Matt, Stoker being asked to get a king-sized out as Lappner already showing off his power earlier in this game, hit one into another zip code.
Yeah, like I said, 2nd longest ball I've ever seen here hit here at Cougar Field. And that was it was a shot too. I think Steven Gonzalez turned back and went after it just to kind of give it a look and see where it landed, but he really never even was going to be close to it. Just took a couple steps and kind of just watched it. So we wait on the 1-0 pitch. Softball right now, I believe, trailing 4-1 there in the 7th inning. Cougars trying to come from behind in that one. As Lappner lifts this one down the line to right and foul. And it's nothing but a long strike. As it bounces up the sidewalk out behind the right field line, right field fence. So it evens the count at 1-1. Stoker again with a breaking ball, and Cougar will keep it in front. But the base is loaded here, which we didn't do earlier. We should do now. For Stoker this year, 2 wild pitches on the season. Actually, scratch that. Nope, I'm right. 2 wild pitches, reading the wrong line. So certainly something to keep an eye on, especially with him throwing breaking balls. So we wait on the 2-1. This one lifted in the air. Playable in right field for Gonzalez. Tagging is Young. They'll challenge Gonzalez as it was high in the air, and Gonzalez didn't know where he wanted to go with it at first. So Lappner will have an RBI sacrifice fly ball. I think that ball just hung so high that when Gonzalez made the catch, he was kind of standing still. It kind of got a little higher on him than he wanted and never really got himself into a position to make a throw. So the 3rd RBI of the ball game for Lappner. LA Valley now with a 5-4 lead here in the 7th. And Olivas moved up to 3rd on the play. So it'll put runners back on the corners here for Branzelm, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Stoker gets 1 of the 2 outs needed, does give up 1 run. And I think had it not been such a high fly ball from Lappner, Gonzalez may have been able to get into a better position to try and challenge the runner at the plate.
He came up flat-footed on the catch, didn't have much momentum behind him ready to make a throw, and maybe even was unsure of where he wanted to go with the ball.
Stoker's pitch misses down, and it's 2-0.
And unfortunately, it results in the runner at second and third advancing, of course, the runner from third scoring the go-ahead run here, but at the very least, you would have liked to have perhaps kept Olivas from advancing to third on that sac fly.
Lata in motion. Cougars trying to throw it back to the pitcher, throw it away from Cougar, and it brings another run home. Scoring from third is Olivas, as the Cougars with a design play try to just get it back to Stoker, and then they instead, it's an error on Cougar that brings Olivas home. Ballesteros made a strong throw to the plate, just bounced it in the dirt, but he almost was able to get the runner, and it was just a half step behind. So LA Valley with 2 here in the 7th. It's 6-4 in favor of the Monarchs. Stoker behind in the count, 3-0 here to Branzel. And he walks him on 4 pitches.
Well, Matt, as you said, it was a design play where Koner was supposed to be throwing it back directly to Stoker, but maybe a bit of an errant throw above Stoker's head, and it kind of just went in no man's land between the pitcher's mound and second base. And by the time Ballesteros was able to recover it, Olivas was safe at home with plenty of time to spare. A couple of defensive miscues here from the Cougars, and it has allowed the Monarchs to scratch across 2 runs and regain the lead here in the top of the 7th. As the first pitch to Wood is high for ball 1. Stoker struggling a bit to find the strike zone here. And now a delayed steal from Branzel. Stroker threw the ball to Ambriz at third, but not before Branzel was able to slide in safely, as the Monarchs may have caught the Cougars sleeping a little bit there.
This thing's going LA Valley's way here. After a 1-out walk to Jung, a single from Olivas, a walk to Lata, and then a walk to Branzel. We've got runners on the corners again here. Lappner, of course, brought 1 run home. Olivas able to take home on the errant throw from Cougar. And again, Stoker way behind here, 3-0. As Josh Wood, who's 0 for 3 today, stands in. Not trying to do too much now. Cougars with another arm up in the bullpen getting loose. 3-0 pitch misses up. And it's back-to-back 4-pitch walks from Stoker, who has just not found his rhythm here. And now the base is loaded once again here for LA Valley. And that's going to bring Chris Cotto back out to the mound, and I believe bring a pitching change for the Cougars along with it. As Stoker gets 1 out, but nothing more. Gives up a couple of walks. Cotto didn't take the ball from him, though. Him and Xavier having a discussion. Xavier was going to hand him the baseball. And now he's going to take the ball from him and have him march off. And that'll finish out Stoker's day. So a pitching change here for the Cougars. As we come back, we'll have it for you. It's 6-4 LA Valley.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
The restaurant and hotel business is the second largest industry in the state of California. Opportunities in such a vibrant career are a click away at College of the Canyons.
It teaches you how to work with people, how to motivate people, how to manage people, how to lead people. And those qualities are so in demand in whatever industry we choose to go into.
COC can get you started on a journey into hotel and restaurant management today.
If our turkey had a resume, it would say it's 99% fat-free, filler-free, and raised without antibiotics. But our turkey already has its dream job at Jersey Mike's. Premium meat makes a sub above.
The restaurant and hotel business is the second largest industry in the state of California. Opportunities in such a vibrant career are a click away at College of the Canyons.
It teaches you how to work with people, how to motivate people, how to manage people, how to lead people. And those qualities are so in demand in whatever industry we choose to go into.
COC can get you started on a journey into hotel and restaurant management today.
And Josh Yusfan will be the new pitcher for the Cougars. Yusfan recorded 3 innings pitched in the Cougars' victory over the Monarchs on Tuesday, and he earned the save. 3 strikeouts in that appearance.
So try and hold things where they're at. It's a 2-run ball game. First pitch from Yusfan to Velasco, over for a strike. Velasco 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a couple of walks. Yusfan this year 1-1 on the season. This is his 8th appearance. He's gone 14 1/3, 15 hits, 13 runs, 10 of them earned, 12 strikeouts and 6 walks. On ERA up at 6.28. But has done a good job to hold opposing hitters down, only hitting .263 against him this year. He's ahead here to Velasco, 0-1. Comes with a breaking pitch that misses down, and Cougar has to keep it in front. With a runner on third for Yusfan. Does not have a wild pitch yet this year. One of just 4 Cougars without a wild pitch on the pitching staff this season. It's the 1-1, a fastball over for a strike. And it makes it 1-2. So the base is loaded here for the Monarchs in the 7th. Already 2 runs across. Seeing if they can give it a third or more, as Velasco could break it back open. LA Valley led 4-0.
And that .263 average against him has been a far cry from the Cougars' overall team opponent's batting average, which is .346 on the year. So he's been doing a good job keeping the opponents off the base.
It's the 1-2 pitch, a breaking ball, misses up. Changes the level a little bit there, and that's a dangerous pitch up in the zone on a curveball, but he misses it high, and it evens the count at 2-2. As Velasco stands and waits, 8th batter to hit here in the 7th inning. It's the 2-2 pitch from Yusfan, hit in the air towards center field. Camacho had to hold up for a second, but charges in and makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. LA Valley gets 2, though. They have a 6-4 lead as we head to the home half of the 7th. It's stretch time here from Cougar Field.
COC's fire technology program goes beyond putting out fires.
Our goal here is to provide our students with a competitive advantage in the hiring process.
It was life-changing for me, and it's exactly what I want to do. It's exactly where I want to be, and it's outside of my comfort zone, and it will be outside of your comfort zone, but you just got to do it. You just got to go all in and just full send and do it.
Fans, don't forget that this season College of the Canyons home games from all sports will be live streamed to fans free of charge via YouTube on the Cougar Sports Network. Can't make it to the next home game? Be sure to check out cocathletics.com for schedules, scores, rosters, stats, game, photos, and live stream links for all your Cougar athletic sports programs.
Pitching change for LA Valley as we go here into the 7th inning. Para is no longer out there, as instead it'll be Danny Velaz who will come in to take over. Velaz this year in his 7th appearance is 0-1 through his first 6, 9 2/3 innings, giving up 10 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, with 10 strikeouts and 2 walks. So he'll face Mikey Kane, Doyle Kane, and DJ Cougar here in the 7th inning. Cougars trying to get something going. Once again, as now they find themselves down by 2 with just 3 at-bats left in the ballgame. Final from softball. Citrus able to beat College of the Canyons 4-2. So Cougars drop one here at home. The baseball team trying to avoid the same. And a good place to start here, 2-3-4 due up. Mikey 1 for 3 with a single, scored a run in the 5th inning.
And Matt, we talked about momentum earlier, shifting to the Cougars. And despite the fact the Monarchs scratched across 2 runs there and regained the lead, you have to consider a bit of a victory considering it was the bases loaded when Stoker entered and facing Lapinier. And
as Kane hits this one in the air towards left center field on the first pitch. Playable for the center fielder Lappner, who will make the catch. 1 down.
Or rather Lappner, that is, who of course we saw hit that monstrous home run, and for him to be retired on a sac fly and for just 1 more run to come in, Cougars can't be too disappointed with how that inning ended going.
Yeah, small victories. That's how you play a baseball game, and certainly you not happy you give up runs, but it could have been worse. Could have been much worse as it was bases loaded with just 1 out. So here's Doyle Kane, 1 for 2 today. Singled, walked, and grounded to short. He takes a called strike. Velaz has been very effective, as we said, this year, at least in terms of strikeout to walk ratio. And the ERA has been a little high for him, but only 9 2/3 innings, and he's given up 6 earned runs. Just his 7th appearance of the year, but only 10 hits, just about a hit an inning. And you can deal with that as he deals to Kane. This one lifted to right, playable for Wood. Coming in will make the catch out in the bright sunshine. 2 down. As the pitcher's mound in the sun, but the back of the mound and the left side of the infield pretty much shadows right now. The plate in shadows. It's tough to see on your screen. We can't do much about the iris on the camera that we currently operate. So We'll do our best to describe things for you, but you can kind of see the sunlight all around the outfield, except for where the left fielder, Asher, is playing, deep out and left. Actually have a defensive substitution here in the 7th inning for LA Valley. Owen Jennings playing left field now. One-two count here to Cougar, who's 0 for 2. Walk struck out and flew out. Hits this one out into left field for a base hit. Sharp line drive from DJ Cougar, and the Cougars with a runner on and 2 away here in the 7th inning. So brings up Gonzalez, who you said was deadly the other day against LA Valley with a pair of home runs. Certainly would like one of those right now, but you would take just a base hit, try and extend the inning, and string something together here if you're College of the Canyons. His first pitch to Gonzalez, swung on and missed.
I think Gonzalez was thinking what you were just thinking, Matt, trying to swing for the fences there. He did not get cheated on that swing.
That one down in there. Good block by Velasco behind the plate. And certainly for Steven today, it's with the wind the way it's kind of swirling around the ball, it's going to be a little tougher to get up into the air and get out. A lot of the times we get wind out of the west, southwest that blows out here at Cougar Field and shrinks the field even more than what it maybe is. But don't get cheated on your hacks. That's certainly something you do not want to do here late in the ball game, as you may not get another opportunity as he swings over that one on a breaking ball from Velaz, and he's behind in the count 1-2. So an important pitch here, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a runner on first base. Cougars trailing by 2 in the 7th inning. Cougar diving back is in time by maybe a half a step.
Cougar maybe caught a little flat-footed there. And with runners at a premium at this point in the game, has to be careful.
That pitch misses up. It's interesting here in the 3C2A with the Cougars. They don't run for Cougar. I know in the NCAA rulebook, and I believe in the 3C2A rulebook as well, you can have a courtesy runner for your catcher during games, but COC has let DJ Cougar kind of just run for himself, as he does have some decent speed for a catcher on the roster. Not a lot of catchers are known to be fleet of foot, but DJ certainly runs well. And he's a guy that can play just about anywhere on the infield as well. It's the count 3-2, so Cougar will get a head start. Gonzalez waits as Velaz will deal. 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed. He sets down Gonzalez on strikes, gives up a 2-out single, but that is it. We head to the 8th inning. It's a 6-4 ball game. LA Valley in the lead.
The new media journalism program focuses on hands-on training for up-and-coming multimedia journalists.
We do shows every 2 weeks, and students put together their own stories. They go out and shoot them, they do the voiceover, they edit them together. It's a really, really cool hands-on experience.
If you want to dive right into the world of journalism, this is the only place to do it.
The restaurant and hotel business is the second largest industry in the state of California. Opportunities in such a vibrant career are a click away at College of the Canyons.
It teaches you how to work with people, how to motivate people, how to manage people, how to lead people. And those qualities are so in demand in whatever industry we choose to go into.
COC can get you started on a journey into hotel and restaurant management today.
So pinch hitter here as Asher out of the game. Jennings staying in to hit. So Asher had the double and then was caught stealing and has been lifted. Jennings trying to bunts this one in the air. Cougar doesn't know where it is, and it lands behind him foul. Jennings batting .429 on the year, just 3 for 7, with a couple of runs batted in. One of his 3 hits is a triple this year. Getting the chance to take over here.
And a lazy fly ball to center field, handled by Camacho for the first out of the top of the 8th. Fan behind at the count 2-1. Fan came on in the top of the 7th to relieve Stoker, as that one's fouled back to the screen. And Fan did his job, kept the Monarchs at bay and prevented any more runs from coming in to score. LA Valley scratched 2 runs across in the 7th to regain the lead, and as it stands now, it's 6-4. That ball's poked down the right field line, but foul. Fan, the 5th Cougars pitcher of the day. They opened the game with Whiting, and then went to Justin Tejada in relief. Scott Bauman took over for him, and then Stoker in the 7th. And now Fan has recorded the first out here in the top of the 8th. That ball is poked up the middle. Little fly ball handled by the shortstop for out number 2, Mikey Kane, flashing to his left.
As it's Jiang here, who's walked, grounded into a fielder's choice, stole a base, scored twice, and driven in a run. He's had quite the eventful day, but does not have a hit yet in the ball game. Facing Fan here. As it's 6-4 in favor of LA Valley. We're in the 8th inning. 2 away. Pitch on the outside misses, and the count now 3-2.
Fan has shown that looping breaking ball, but it hasn't been effective, has not been able to get it in the zone.
This one fouled back right off the pole, and then just kind of died right off the pole. That was interesting. Hit the post. Oh, it's hockey. Sorry, I'm in hockey mode right now. It's still hockey season for me. That's the 3-2 pitch. In for called strike 3 as Fan sets down Jiang, who wasn't happy with the call. But Fan sets down the side in order here in the 8th. We head to the home half. Still a 2-run ball game. Cougars trying to get something going on the offense. We'll have more when we come back.
Here at IQ, which stands for Institute for Culinary Education at College of the Canyons, we offer 3 certificates: a baking and pastry certificate, a culinary arts certificate, and a wine studies certificate, as well as an associate's degree in the culinary arts. We are an accelerated program, so you can finish between a year and a year and a half. We create a culinary community here at College of the Canyons.
The restaurant and hotel business is the second largest industry in the state of California. Opportunities in such a vibrant career are a click away at College of the Canyons.
It teaches you how to work with people, how to motivate people, how to manage people, how to lead people. And those qualities are so in demand in whatever industry we choose to go into.
COC can get you started on a journey into hotel and restaurant.
I love emergency medicine. You're there at these people's worst time of their life, and you're there to make it a little bit better.
The EMT program at COC is a 1-semester program. Over the course of it, the EMT students will learn the textbook knowledge they need, practical hands-on skills that they're going to need working out on an ambulance or in a hospital or whatever.
The restaurant.
Here at IQ, which stands for Institute for Culinary Education at College of the Canyons, we offer 3 certificates: a baking and pastry certificate, a culinary arts certificate, and a wine studies certificate, as well as an associate's degree in the culinary arts. We are an accelerated program, so you can finish between a year and a year and a half. We create a culinary community here at College of the Canyons.
It'll be Ambrose, Ballesteros, and Roca here in the 8th inning. Cougars need to get busy as they trail by 2. 6-4 in favor of LA Valley. Ambrose in the ball game, 1 for 2. Doubled, struck out, walked, drove in 3 runs to tie the game back in that big 5th inning for the Cougars. And certainly would like to see another base runner here to start in this 8th inning. As Velaz was effective in the 7th. Go ahead, Matt.
Perhaps nobody better to lead off an inning where they're looking for base runners than Ambrose, who has a .455 on base percentage this year.
He's down on strikes. Or he checks his swing, excuse me, and that'll make it 1 and 2. For some reason, I thought that was strike 3. So it'll make it a 1 ball, 2 strikes count. And now he's down on strikes, so maybe a little broadcaster foreshadowing there. The broadcaster jinx in full effect. 1 away here in the 8th inning. Here's Alex Ballesteros, 1 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Singled back in the 2nd. Roca waits in the on-deck circle. Not for nothing else, the Cougars would at least have the top of the order coming up in the 9th, should they not be able to get anybody on. This one out in the right field by Ballesteros, and that's a base hit. Wood never saw it as the sun is kind of low in the sky right now, and he was shading his eyes. I don't think he would have gotten there anyway, as it's a solid single from Ballesteros. Puts a runner on with 1 away for Joey Roca. Right field, center field pretty much in steady sunshine with some shade drifting out into right field because of the trees. The infield pretty much in shadows, some sun poking through the trees right in front of the pitcher's mound, and it makes it a really tough visual for hitters, I think, with that change from shadow to sun to back to shadow. So it'll be interesting to see if either side really has anything going in the final two as the sun's still up. As that one fouled away, and the count 1-1.
And difficult for the fielders as well. Left field up against the fence, completely in shadows, but coming in closer toward the infield, the sun. Center field mostly in the sun, but right field is a tree blocking part of the sun, and might make for some adventures here in the final 2 innings.
One of the big oak trees that we have here on the campus of College of the Canyons, blocking out some of the left field area with shade. A couple more of the big oak trees out behind us are actually maybe birch trees. I know the one down left field line, though, is certainly an oak tree. As we go back to work here, waiting on the 1-2 pitch. Roca down on strikes. Second strikeout of the inning for Velaz. 2 away. And Jovan Camacho, who singled, reached on an error and walked, steps into the left-hand side of the plate to go to work with 2 outs. As Camacho, first pitch swinging, fouls this one off to the left. Camacho's had a nice day today, Jovan has. Played a solid center field. Only play he didn't make was a shallow fly ball that he dove on. Just couldn't quite come up with it. Otherwise has been good. Has reached, has scored. But he's behind in the count, 0-2 with 2 away. Ballesteros leading away from first. Velaz trying to once again lock down the inning, as he was solid in the 7th, gave up a 2-out hit. This one hit in the air towards center field, playable for Lappner, who will make the catch. And Velaz faces 4, sets down 3, gives up 1 hit, and we go to the 9th inning. In a 6-4 ball game. Sorry.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
The restaurant and hotel business is the second largest industry in the state of California. Opportunities in such a vibrant career are a click away at College of the Canyons.
It teaches you how to work with people, how to motivate people, how to manage people, how to lead people. And those qualities are so in demand in whatever industry we choose to go into.
COC can get you started on a journey into hotel and restaurant management today.
So the Monarchs will turn the lineup over to the top with Olivas. Swings through the first pitch for strike 1 from Yusufan, who continues his outing. Came in to relieve Stoker in the top of the 7th. Pitched the clean top of the 8th. And will be asked to finish out the game here for the Cougars and keep it within reaching distance. Currently a 6-4 lead for LA Valley.
Cougars do have an arm up in the bullpen, Matt. Can't quite tell who it is the batting cage getting in the way and hasn't turned his back around as Levas hits this one in the air towards center field. And Camacho, who, as we said, have played a really good center field today, makes another play. One away. So here's Lata, 0 for 3 today, 0 for 2 today. Actually, 0 for 2 today with a sacrifice fly and a walk. Takes a strike. This one grounded foul towards the third base dugout. Third base dugout has been in play a lot today. Cougars have been in dodging balls left and right. That one wasn't quite hit as hard, though. As it's 0-2 here to Lata. One away in the 9th inning. Breaking ball hit on the ground up the middle. Solid single for Lata as a one-hopper out into center. He's going to try and take second base, and he is out at second base as he was trying to catch Camacho sleeping. And Camacho, who maybe took a little bit of time getting the ball in, able to make a solid throw. And there's 2 down. So that's interesting. Lata trying to catch the defense kind of sleeping. Camacho a little lazy on the pickup, but makes a strong throw. And it'll bring Lappner up, who singles out into right field on a sharp line drive just over the outstretched glove of Doyle Kane.
And if you're LA Valley, I'm not sure how much you love that play with your big hitter Lappner coming up, and he delivers there with a single into right field and a chance to maybe tack on an insurance run, but now with 2 outs, makes that much more difficult for the Monarchs.
As Branzel stepping in, Fan a step off and a half-hearted fake throw to first. First pitch to Branzel gets away from Cougar. And that makes that play from Lata even more important there, Matt, because you'd have runners on second and third now.
Hard to say exactly what would have transpired here if the sequencing of pitches would have been the same, but nonetheless, running yourself out of a base runner there is not exactly ideal with just a narrow 2-run lead.
Well, especially we've seen the Cougars with a big inning already today. Put up 4 in the 5th. That's the only runs of the ball game for Canyons. LA Valley 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 7th to give themselves a 6-4 lead. Fan trying to go to work here against Branzel. Misses that pitch up, and it's 2-0. So good hitting count here for Lee Branzel, third baseman, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of walks. Sit in one spot, something you can drive, try and bring home another run. Instead, it's a pitch that misses away. And it makes the count 3-0.
After 2 well-struck balls off Fan, he's struggling to find the zone here against Branzel.
That's the 3-0 pitch, hit in the air towards left field. Roca makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. So a couple of singles, but the out by Lata hurts LA Valley. We head to the 9th. It's a 2-run ball game. Cougars with their last licks when we come back.
The new media journalism program focuses on hands-on training for up-and-coming multimedia journalists.
We do shows every 2 weeks, and students put together their own stories. They go out and shoot them, they do the voiceover, they edit them together. It's a really, really cool hands-on experience.
If you want to dive right into the world of journalism, this is the only place to do it.
We go to the 9th. Cougars trailing by 2. And they'll have the top of the order coming up. It'll be Ryan Camacho, Mikey Kane, and Doyle Kane trying to bring the Cougars back. And so you at least have the right spot in the order to try and start and come up with a comeback here. Ryan Camacho will lead things off. Velaz stays in there, so working his 3rd inning.
And the shadows that you had mentioned earlier, Matt, appear to have maybe not take as much of a toll on the hitters now, as the entire infield for the most part is in the shadow. So that could be a benefit to the Cougars here as they have their last licks in the 9th.
As Camacho 0 for 4 today, as the first pitch nearly hits him. Camacho's a ball magnet. He gets hit a lot. And that one almost caught him. Both he and Jovan get hit quite a bit this year. They've, I think, combined for a majority of the hit by pitches this season. Is that pitch over for a strike?
Probably a big reason for his high on-base percentage at .415.
As he's got a 2-1 count. This one chopped foul. So it'll even the count at 2-2. And
I'll tell you, nothing gets a team more juiced than one of their teammates taking a pitch off the hip or off the back and getting a rally started.
Yes, he's done that a few times this year. That one fouled away. We'll keep the count at 2-2. Velaz in the line, deals, fouled off again. Cougar bench is fired back up here a little bit, Matt. They were quiet for the middle part of the game. Early on in the ball game, they had plenty of energy. But now have seemed to find their voice once again, trying to come from behind here in the 9th inning. We've seen a walk-off here at Cougar Field already once this year for College of the Canyons, trying to find that same magic here in the 9th. As Camacho down on strikes for the first out. Good pitch from Velaz that time on a fastball down in the zone. 1 away, and here comes Mikey Kane. Mikey has had a tough day, 1 for 3. Sorry, 1 for 4. Had a single in the 5th and scored. Struck out in his first 2 at-bats and flied to center field in the 7th inning. But you have what you want. Top of the order. So far, Velaz has got the first. The pitch misses down. Kane, the future Trojan, headed to USC, most likely in the fall. He swings and misses. That's 1 ball and 1 strike.
And as we discussed earlier, difficult. The Cougars don't appear to have Taft and Hensley available, their best hitter.
As Kane lifts this one on the infield, on the right side. Tofola and Olivas over there will make the catch. Will actually go to Olivas. So the Cougars down to their final out. 2 away for Doyle Kane, who's 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. Scored a run in the 5th as well. Trying to keep the Cougars alive and start a 2-out rally. So Laz, who came in the 7th, is retired 8 of 10. He's given up 2 hits, and that's been it so far. Cougars have not had an answer for him as he comes in to try and finish this one out and pick up the save, if he does, as the pitcher of record is actually Para, in line for the win here in the ball game. That one misses down. Good pitch, though, from Velaz. But he's behind 3-0 here to Kane. Doyle trying to give the Cougars a base runner. They certainly need at least one to try and give themselves a shot at tying the ball game. As the 3-0 pitch over for a strike. Cougar taking the whole way. Over for a strike. And now it's a full count, so the Cougars down to their final strike. Waiting on a 3-2 pitch. Velaz deals this one a one-hopper right at the shortstop, Lotta, who will pick it up and throw out Cougar, and that'll end the ball game. So LA Valley pushed 2 across in the 7th. They held the Cougars scoreless for the final 3. They win it 6-4. Para gets the win. I believe Bauman gets the loss as he gave up 2 in the 7th. And Velaz gets the save. That'll end the ball game for us. Cougars fall to 1-1 in conference play and 7-10 on the year for LA Valley. 12-6 on the regular season, 1-1 in conference play as well. We'll see you next week, Thursday, next broadcast here on the Cougar Sports Network, as we'll have softball for you. From Whitten Field, for Matt Frieda, I'm Matt Robinson. Have a good one, everybody.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments, time with friends, lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.